Picking up from the contamination I found inside both final drives, it was worse on the right hand side, which is a bigger surface area inside to make a house. There's the corruption that I took out of the final drives. I neglected to mention before I took the final drives off, the last part to come off was the drawbar crossbar. I've used that as a jacking point since the narrower gauge and round parts in the rear don't seem to work as well, and so the drawbar angle was used to jack it up, and now it's supported there. I mention that because now there's some jerking and prying going on, and we don't want to shake anything loose here. The front axle is wedged to the frame as well for stability. The transmission is on 2 dowel pins, as I mentioned earlier, one on each side, and rather than beat away on parts on the outside, I've found that a tool that you recognize here and a suitable shim to get a good pinch behind the bolt on each side of the ring gear differential cover, prying on both sides. I've been able to push the transmission off its dowel pins on each side, and so the next shot will be with the transmission out on the guide bolts, a clevis on the top with the cherry picker mounted to be able to move the transmission out of the banjo housing. So at this point, both final drives and the brake shafts, final drive shafts are out. Both drain plugs are out. The oil is drained from both the differential and the transmission. The differential plug has to be out because it has to come out through the front. The transmission plug being out helps make sure you don't get tangled up in the brake shaft. This flange at the bottom is going to rub on the brake shaft. If there was ever a case for taking the brake shaft out and cleaning it all up so everything works smoothly, this would be it. So it would allow clear passage out. It does interfere there a bit and needs to be moved around. That's a reason to not have these guide pins any longer than necessary about the distance for the shaft to come forward, because once we get there we need to move the assembly around a little bit to clear and come forward. And raise it up a bit. No doubt this could be done with a fence post and a chain. Doesn't need an engine lifter. If you had helpers, that could be done different ways. It's a close fit with the differential housing coming out, and I say that flange being at the brake shaft. Pause it. There is a relief in the housing here for the housing to come by, and I just don't have everything lined up quite right. My support pins are 3/8 bolts cut off to be 3 inches long altogether. By the time I wanted to move the shaft or the transmission upwards using this relief that's in the housing for the differential to take advantage of that, I was running into my pin, and that didn't allow it to pivot up far enough to get over the brake shaft, so it would have been better. I may make those 2.5 inches long yet, so that now I'm out free of the differential housing, and at this point it can be lifted out further, and then I'll clean that up. And heat and humidity what it is. The next pictures are likely to be from my basement as I remove the differential cover and take out the differential in order to take out that top drive shaft. I came back for one more shot of the transmission module out of the banjo housing. The flange interferes with the left step at the far side, so it has to come to the right, and then it's a tight fit to the point where this boss on the differential housing rubs on the relief hole here, so it needs to be with the flange ahead of the brake shaft. It needs to be lowered slightly, and then, or at least this is the way I got this one out, lowered slightly and then tipped forward and wiggle that past there. Potentially it would be easier if it wasn't so rusty inside and dragging on parts, but I moved it forward and down once I got the shaft, once I got past the brake shaft.